Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to the show. It's time for some more Baseball Stars action. So, just so you know, this isn't me playing, right? This is the computer playing against itself, and we can sit back and watch it for a minute if you want. Though, I don't know if we really want to, because we know that it's not interesting unless we have our team playing, right? So here we go with Baseball Stars. I can't remember who we upgraded last time or anything that happened. I go to sleep and I forget about everything that happened all day long, right? So no, Schroeder has some pretty good prestige now, which should make the person posting his Schroeder there in the comments very, very happy. The big question we have is, like, what do we do next? Who do we upgrade next? I see some people talking about, let's make Lucy a little bit faster. Maybe we do that. We have a whole bunch of people who are at 30,000 right now. So whoever is lucky enough will get something when we win. We'd always take a chance on Shermie and try to get that prestige up all the way. I don't know. We could do something like that. We can go back to Franklin and try to get his prestige up all the way. Something like that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and just sort of jump straight into this. So this is it. This is the final game of this season. It's been one heck of a season, let me tell you. I can't believe we actually lost 4 games to this team. So today, if we end up winning this in less than 5 innings, we'll play an exhibition game or something like that. If it's more than 5 innings, though, I don't know. We'll do something. We should be able to win this game, though, easily. That's the spirit. There we go. So I actually have this, so you can't see like my desktop when I'm playing this, but I have this screen elongated, so stretched out a little bit more than I normally do. So it's like, I don't know, for me it's like 4K Baseball Stars. This is what it feels like. It still has, though, the original aspect ratio. People have asked me about that. People have said, oh, it's been a long time since I've seen a video in this aspect ratio and stuff like that. Yeah, I do try to keep it to the original as close as I can. Some people like sort of like the widescreen effect and stuff. I don't. Of course, I should stop talking about aspect ratios and start talking about, you know, not swinging at balls that are out of the strike zone. Or swinging at balls that are right down the heart of the play. That was pretty bad. All right, we're going to pretend that that at-bat didn't happen. Yeah, more bad luck. That wasn't so good. All right, well, here comes Pigpen. Here comes the big slugger. We're going to get 10 runs right here. There you go. It's another one of those where it's actually a foul ball, but they call it fair for some strange reason. And Pigpen's got the clear double, so there you have it. Here comes Violet. That was a strike? Well, so much for that. So, well, we got a base hit. That's almost like getting a run. And here comes Paul, who has 9 home runs against us. I don't know who this guy thinks he is. Fortunately, Paul can't run. That's the important part. Yeah, how do you like that, huh? Play of the day right there. Web Jam. We should do Web Jam's Baseball Replay Journal Edition. That's all good. Speaking of replay stuff, look for, hopefully today, the next game in the 1919 replay to come along. We're going to have the 1919 White Sox for you, so that'll be interesting. And I was doing some research last night, actually, on this team, finding stories to tell and interesting things, so we have a lot to do. It's going to be the White Sox at the St. Louis Browns opening day of the season, so that should be a lot of fun. The Browns are often remembered among sort of people who know things about baseball history as being like a bad team. They weren't necessarily that bad in 1919, though, right? They had George Sisler. They had what's his name? Williams is the guy whose name I was trying to think of. They had Baby Doll Jacobson, right? They had a whole bunch of guys who wound up being very, very famous hitters in the early 1920s. They were actually probably a much better team than the St. Louis Cardinals were, and St. Louis Cardinals had Rogers Hornsby. So, anyways, a lot of stuff to check out once that video is up. I thought there was a third out. I guess it was only 2. I can't count. Yeah, man, this guy, as long as he has stamina and is throwing balls like that, I'm in trouble. Because there's not much I can do with that, but at least we can knock that up the middle. And that just sneaks through. Runners on a first and second now, so now we have it going on. Yeah, this is the sign that you know that it's me playing when you have us doing head and run like crazy all the time. I haven't done that very much with this game so far, but that's usually the way that I play. We haven't had much speed, that's the problem that we have. Oh yeah, easy out, no problem. Get them one at a time. Anyway, I think I mentioned in a blog post actually that the 1919 White Sox were actually not favored to win the pennant at the beginning of the season, which is interesting for people who claim that the 1919 White Sox should be considered one of the greatest teams of all time. Maybe the 1917 White Sox, but even then I think that it's one of those things where when you really start like digging into the season and understanding what happened, you're like, oh, maybe this team isn't really that great. Yeah, the 1919 White Sox were all right, but anyway, we'll see a little bit more when I get this thing put together. But yeah, most of the prognosticators didn't think that this team was going to do so well. They didn't do so well in 1918, and that was in large part because a bunch of their players left the team early. Of course, it's not really their fault because of the work or fight order, and so these guys were kind of worried that if they waited, to get a job at like a shipyard or whatever, then there wouldn't be anything available. They'd end up having to fight in the military. So it's kind of weird to go back and read like the newspapers from 1918, especially because you have this like militaristic part of the United States. At first in the Great War, you had a bunch of papers that were anti-war, especially the Chicago Tribune was very much an anti-war paper in 1914 and into 1915. But then you had sort of a pro-war sort of shift, and that happened, I think, had a lot to do with the German U-boats and all of that ridiculousness that they were doing, trying to cut down U.S. shipping. And once things changed, suddenly like the propaganda arms kind of went into a full-time business, and you started to see like people, who were talking about how, oh, you have to go to war, you must do this, we need to have a major draft, everybody needs to be part of the war effort and all of that stuff. Very interesting to see sort of the change that came about over the United States during that time. Just really mostly just because of the fact that war had been declared. But the truth is that when you look at the actions of a lot of these players and other guys, like, a lot of these guys were definitely not pro-war. They wanted to just live their life and earn some money and, be okay. They went into the military largely because they felt like they had no choice. Right, as opposed to doing it out of some sort of like precious patriotic duty or whatever. A lot of these guys were just trying to do the best that they could with what they had. You have to remember too that a lot of these ball players are not exactly like great intellectuals who were going to like, be able to make a whole ton of money outside of the sport of baseball. Even though they were famous, they didn't really know kind of what to do with that fame. And as you know, I mean, in 1919, 1920, there's not much by way of baseball cards and other memorabilia. But in the seasons before, there was quite a bit of memorabilia that was made. There were advertisements and things like that. A lot of those ads that you see, even major companies, Coca-Cola and stuff like that, featured the likeness of players without compensating them at all. So in theory, you could say, oh, well, we could go and we could do, we can do advertising or whatever. We can, use our fame and fortune to make some money. The reality, though, back then was that this was going to happen whether you signed off on it or not, and likely was going to happen without you making any money off of it at all. So anyway, that's one of those things that gets kind of lost in the history books. People forget about that part, right? It's not quite the same way that it is today, where players have a lot of rights and. If you're going to use like this guy's name and face, you got to like get the Players Association contract and all that other stuff. If you're talking like 1918, 1919, there's not a whole lot of that going on. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, a lot of good stuff's going to come pretty soon. And We're halfway through this game with no score, so we can't get base hits again. What else is new? As usual, though, I want to remind you that if you like what you see, if you enjoy this channel, please consider becoming a channel member on YouTube because it helps a lot. Or you can consider joining the Patreon. Your monetary support is what helps keep this project alive and other projects that I do. It really does make a difference. It especially is nice if we can keep the lights on, which is something that is not guaranteed to happen. Thank you for your support any way possible, even if you can't make it. Unfortunately, that was the line drive that was caught. I tell you, I've been having nightmares about these line drives. This is the game that dominates your dreams. Even if you win, you still have nightmares about it. I'm having nightmares about this pitcher, and it's only going to get harder from here. That's the thing. So, I don't know. We got to load up on the money we can get from the SNK Crushers while we can, because we're about to be the crushed. Oh, that's my bad. Hand-eye coordination is apparently not my high point. Alright, that brings up some of the heat of the order. Let's see if we can get some runs here. It'd be nice if we could score some runs for a change, and I think this one is going to do it. Yeah, bro, the ball wasn't hit there, was it? Fall into the crowd anyway. 3-0. That's a little bit more like it. This is a little bit more along the lines of what I was thinking. So we get them to go to their bullpen, and as usual, they choose a not-so-great pitcher, and then we can go at it again. More bad luck for us. Well, so much for that. All my pitchers are sad. I think that they're all tired. I think that we probably used a few too many pitchers in recent games. I don't know why he was running down and to the right. I was trying to get him just to run straight down, but whatever. That was probably going to be a hit no matter what. Oh, that was our ghost fielder came back. Alright, we got him. Oh, come on, jeez. Every time I face that pitch, you call it a strike. You gotta call it both ways, man. Yeah, maybe we should be cutting those balls off, huh? Well, we got that run at the plate cut off. That's the important part. This is what I get for putting in the reliever who has the frowny face, right? I gotta start paying attention to the smiles and the frowns. Yeah, Paul is really easy to strike out like that. You just gotta know. You just gotta be in the know, baby. Dude, where is my fielder? I'm seeing like a whole bunch of like flashes of light and stuff. I don't know, this game sometimes feels hallucinogenic. Alright, well we gave up 2 runs, 3-2. Let's see if we can actually figure out how to hit the ball. I think I did make this screen a little bit too large. I think that may be part of the problem. There we go, base hit. That's the right way to start it. Thank you, Linus. Now Lucy needs to get on base. Yep, she does it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's what we like to see. Look at how fast she rounds the bases too, man. She's really got that speed. So yeah, we do need to get our running speed up. Unfortunately, this time we don't hit like a line drive right at somebody, right? Not that we've been doing that, you know. Yeah, see, that's what it's like when you have players that are actually fast. Don't worry, we'll get there eventually. Alright, so we've made a couple of problems for them. Now let's make another one, and let's see if we can get this game ended a little bit earlier. Oh, I ended up falling. Okay, whatever. Yeah, center field 1 is kind of on his last legs here. I think it may be about time to start making some lineup changes and changing around what the strategy is going to be. Oh shoot, get back. So yeah, maybe it is Shermie that we need to build up a little bit next. Why I had the guy going to second go back to first, but whatever. My mind must be somewhere else right now. I don't know. Yeah, get through. There we go. This is a little bit more like it. I don't know where these runs were early in the game, but this is a little bit more like what we were expecting to see here. Try to move into that one and get hit by the pitch. Alright, 92. All we need is 3 more runs. If we can score 3 more, this game is over. See if Lucy can hit a home run for us. She probably can. I don't think she has enough strength at the moment to do that. That's the way you can think about this, right? You're spending your money, you're actually just giving the players some exercise, right? I want you to go do some strength training, right? I want you to go, like, hit the batting cages or whatever. No, it's not going to go through. I was so hopeful, but it didn't happen. But we have 16 hits now. That's the important part. And see, they're happy. Now we have players that are happy, so we can put them in. They're going to be happy, then they're not going to give up a whole bunch of base hits. I hope. I love how that umpire came from, like, totally out of nowhere, right, to make the call. He was hiding. He was hiding behind the artificial turf. Tommy, I'll never forget Tommy hitting that home run against us the other game. That was crazy. Ah, yes, the memories of our first short season, 25 games against this team. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll probably do like a short series against like Lovely Ladies. I think that's the next team that's up on the pecking order. See if we can get a bunch of money and improve this team a bit. And then once we've done that, then we can start messing around with like the big league with all the hard teams and all that good stuff. Right here, pitcher, right here. There's another one I probably should have walked into, huh? I can't remember why we had Shermie catch, but anyway. Yeah, we'll take him out. We'll put in Snoopy. Snoopy, the player who actually looks like a thug when you look at his picture, but that's Snoopy for you. Joe Cool, that's who it is. Alright, well, so far so good. Bottom of the 7th inning. We're about 20 minutes into this video. Still cranking along. Gotta love baseball stars. I was a little bit worried for a while that we were going to get to the point with this game where it was going to be like way too easy. We're going to score like, 10 runs in the first inning and stuff, but we definitely haven't gotten to that point yet. It still does require some concentration and some work. And you know me, I'm the king of concentration. Yep, that'll be 2. Oh, yes! Barely, barely, barely. Not the best throw in the world from the third baseman. Who do we have at third again? I can't even remember. There's a better throw. Not exactly Brooks Robinson out there, I'll tell you that. Yeah, a little bit over anxious. We gotta sort of sit back and sort of let it come to us. Well, that was awful. Alright. There's no hope. There we go. Franklin trying to get hit by that. Just very, very unlucky there. That one should have snuck by, but it didn't. Pigpen now with 5 home runs. He's almost hitting like Paul. But he's in a hole again, 0-2 after swinging at 2 balls. So, I don't know. Not looking so good. Come on, Pigpen. Fortunately, though, we have other power hitters, though I'm not sure that we're going to get much power hitting in this game. It's been a little bit dry for us. I mean, we do have 9 runs, and we have, what is it, like 16 hits, so it's not like we've been playing horribly, but it's one of those things where, you know, when it rains, it pours, and if it doesn't rain at all, then it's as dry as a barren desert. I mean, we had, like, over half this game, we didn't score anything. There we go. Hitting Linus with the pitch again. That's not the first time this guy's done that. Well, that does that. 9-2. And look who's up. Alright, 2 more outs to go, and then we're going to be done with this short season. Now, you guys know, of course, I'm going to play more. Somebody was asking questions about that or whatever. Of course I'm going to play more. I'm not going to have it to where... Okay, I caught that. Umpire. How much did they pay you, ump? Jeez. I'm not going to have it so that we only play against the SNK Crushers and that's the whole thing. There's no way. We're gonna do a lot more of this. So look for more coming soon. And there you go. There's your ball game. 9-2 victory. 17 hits in all. We should have had the spectacular foul ball catch. I'm not going to forget that one. And there you go. We are champions with 21 wins and 4 losses, 840 winning percentage. So we're better than the 27 Yankees. Oh yeah, gotta love it. SNK Championship. That's what we wanted to get. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, here we go. We got it going on. So did we get any money from that? We're about to find out if we didn't get any money from that. This is going to be a very, very sad video, isn't it? We did, yeah, we got some money. I don't know how much exactly we got, but we got something. Alright. How much money do we have left? 45,000. Okay. So everybody here's at 30,000 right now, except for I guess Sally, Schroeder, Rita, Snoopy. So Schroeder has all of that up. Let's give him a little bit more here. He's up to 20,000. And then see joins the 20,000 club. Yeah, how are we gonna do this? Yeah, we'll do that. There we go. That'll be probably good enough for now. All right, there we go. So we've got all of that squared away. Only one game today, so sorry about that, guys. But what we're gonna go do for you tomorrow is we'll go after the lovely ladies. Probably play like a short season or something like that, see how it works. Hopefully we'll be able to win. If we can win, then we get a lot more money. If we get a lot more money, then we can put a lot more into the team and get some more improvements and hopefully fix some of these problems that we have. So we're gonna do it a little bit at a time. It should be a lot of fun. Talk to you then. Take care.